Hello there, my name is James Harrington. If Spanish football is for you, then this is the place to be. Today we're previewing the biggest fixture in La Liga, possibly the world. It's El Clásico. This year's El Clásico will have a slightly different feel. We've got fans back in the stadium this time around, which is great. And also we have a number of new talented young players coming through. But on the downside, there's no Messi, no Ramos, the normal protagonist for a fixture like this. And as well, there's no Zinedine Zidane in the dugout. Just to say, both of these teams have got European commitments midweek. Real Madrid played Shakhtar Donetsk and Barcelona played Dynamo Kyiv. This video was recorded after Real Madrid beat Shakhtar on the Tuesday night and while Barcelona are taking on Dynamo Kyiv. Let's start with Barcelona. Now they come into this match after a win against Valencia, a critical win for the Catalan club. Before the game, they'd only won one game in 6 in all competitions. And before the international break as well, they had that bitterly disappointing, toothless display against Atletico Madrid where they lost 2-0 on Matchday 8. This has been dubbed a pivotal week for the club. After the match against Valencia, they have a must-win match against Dynamo Kyiv. Now the reason why it's a must-win game is because after the first 2 Champions League matches in their group, they're currently sitting bottom as they've lost both those matches. Then after the game against Kyiv, they then play Los Blancos in El Clásico. Looking back at the game against Valencia, after going a goal down, they managed to win 3-1 thanks to goals from Fati, Depay and Coutinho to secure all 3 points. This was the first time since the 16th of December 2020 that Barcelona have won a home game after conceding the first goal. The last time that happened was against Real Sociedad where they won the match 2-1. So let's talk about the 3 main talking points from that game. Number 1, Ansu Fati, who put in a really impressive performance in what was his first starting fixture since returning from injury. Only on the pitch for 59 minutes, but was able to get 3 shots off, a goal, complete 46 touches and 21 successful passes of the ball. Had a real impact and it's great to see him flourishing considering the extent of his injury. The second big talking point is Sergio Aguero, who made his debut in the 85th minute. Now it's been long awaited and when he came on to rapturous applause from the stands. He's still not quite match fit, but he's such a potent finisher. We all know that. If you consider the attacking lineup that Barcelona had before the international break, Depay and De Jong, now with Aguero and hopefully an improving Coutinho, that gives Barcelona a real advantage going forward. Finally, the other talking point is Serginho Dest. Now what was interesting about this match was the fact that they played Serginho Dest in a further more advanced wide right position in that 4-3-3 and keeping Sergio Roberto firmly as that right back. That's quite unconventional for Barcelona considering the fact that the right back normally does those overlapping runs going forward and put crosses into the box. But Serginho Dest flourished in this role, completing 4 successful dribbles, 7 duels won and got the assist for one of the goals. Potentially, this could be a reinvention of Serginho Dest. The problem for Barcelona going into this game this weekend, and I mean this in no disrespect to Kyiv, is that they can't rest any players that they probably would have in a match like this, due to how pivotal getting a win is. As well, they've got a number of key players out injured. You're looking at Pedri, Araujo and Dembele. But I think Barcelona's starting lineup is still relatively strong. And I think the selection choice that Koeman will go with for this weekend is Ter Stegen in goal, a back 4 of Sergio Roberto, Eric Garcia, Gerard Piqué and Jordi Alba, a midfield 3 of Sergio Busquets, Frankie de Jong and Gavi. We must briefly just touch on Gavi actually, and how impressive he's been since he's come into the side this season. Only 17 years old, played for Spain in the Nations League final, but we have to say he's still quite excitable, maybe ill-disciplined, but he has that aggressive edge to him. And then a front 3 of Serginho Dest, Memphis Depay and Ansu Fati. We now turn to the opposition, Real Madrid, who actually didn't have a fixture in La Liga last weekend due to their match against Athletic Club being postponed. However, they did play in the Champions League on Tuesday night, having to bounce back from that disappointment, that shock defeat before the international break against Sheriff. Well, last night against Shakhtar Donetsk, they put in a faultless performance, winning 5-0 in what was an onslaught of goals in the second half. There were 2 goals from Vinny Jr. and the second one was a sublime goal. Let's not forget this was a player who last season, nearly to a year to the day, in the Champions League against Borussia Mönchengladbach, his strike partner Karim Benzema turned to his teammate Ferland Mendy and said, "Don't pass to him, he's playing for the other side." Well, look at him now. He seems to be more calm, more decisive and more potent in front of the net. This season he's already got 7 goals, matching or bettering his tally from last season. The other goals of the night from Real Madrid came from Rodrigo and Benzema. Of course he had to get on the score sheet. The main talking point from this match in the Champions League was the formation choice. Now, Ancelotti briefly touched on it prior to the game, but what we had seen before the international break was Real Madrid reverting to a more defensive 4-4-2 against Espanyol. Now, that didn't work out. They lost the game, quite surprisingly so. But what Ancelotti said is, they're a team that's all about 4-3-3. Sometimes they won't play with wingers, but this is a formation so familiar, so ideal to the setup, they probably won't deviate from it. And of course, it came back in force against Shakhtar Donetsk, and I think that's the right call, especially when you consider the midfield complementary trio of Kroos, Casemiro and Modric. The big concern for Real Madrid going into the Champions League fixture and the game against Barcelona was the injuries, especially in that defensive department. Now, we've talked about before on this channel, losing Ramos and Varane over the summer really was a bitter disappointment for Real Madrid and its fans. It kind of takes away that spine of the team. However, the international break, it seemed like their injury problems were worsening, especially if you take David Alaba, for example, a player who I believe since he signed on a free agent in the summer has not missed a single match. Well, he supposedly picked up a knock for international duty with Austria. However, it seems at the start of this week, and especially last night against Shakhtar, those injury fears have lessened. Being able for Carlo Ancelotti to call upon the likes of David Alaba, Eder Militao, Nacho and Ferland Mendy. As well for Carlo Ancelotti, fortunately he says the likes of Casemiro, Kroos and Modric appear to be fit. Up top, Valverde, Benzema and Vinny Jr. And really that is a full strength 11 for Real Madrid, with only Dani Carvajal missing. However, rumour has it he might be fit to make an appearance against Barcelona. The final thing I want to talk about previewing this game, it's Mr. Karim Benzema. Now, I read an interview on ESPN which pointed out, and I think quite rightly so, that he is now the most recognisable face of this fixture. With there being no Messi, no Ramos, he's played 37 El Clásicos since moving from Lyon to Real Madrid. His stats are frighteningly good this season. In 2021, at the time of the interview, he scored 31 goals and had given 12 assists. And if you look at his stats so far for La Liga this season, he is leading the charts in goals with 9 and assists with 7, clearly touted for a Ballon d'Or winner. So what does this all mean for my prediction? Well, I think for Barcelona this would be a real big boost for them if they were to win this match. Whilst they are only 2 points away from Real Madrid, who sits second, and currently Barcelona in 7th, there's a lot of pressure and strain around the club. So hopefully with a win in El Clásico, that will quell some of those fears. However, I think that Real Madrid are going to win this one. They did the double on Barcelona last season, and this time around, I think it's going to be a repeat of one of those scorelines. I'm going to go with 3-1 Real Madrid. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the preview of El Clásico. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, and why not give the video a thumbs up? It's all greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.